morning and welcome to Outdoors with John. So to give you a little preview of our trail, we're here right off Route 112 in Lincoln Woods Trailhead. We're going to follow Lincoln Woods Trail up to Franconia Brook Trail. We're going to follow Franconia Brook Trail up towards 13 Falls. That's a 16-mile round trip. Not sure if we'll make it that far, but that's the direction that we're heading. And this whole area, once you get into the green, is the Pemigewasset Wilderness area. So it should be an interesting hike. It's about 16 degrees out. We had some snow last night, so things are going to be pretty. The sun is shining, a little bit windy. That's why we're not hiking any mountaintops today. We're going to try to stay in the valley where we'll have less wind and a little bit more warmth. So thanks for coming along today. Let's get hiking. All right, it's 2.8 miles to the Franklin Falls Trail. Into the hike, we come to the junction of the Acesso Trail, which follows the Acesso River for a while and then eventually finds its way up to Mount Flume at about 4 miles from here. As you can see, we're on a very flat trail. This is the old East Branch and Lincoln Logging Railroad, kind of their main line here, which was in operation from, I believe, the 1890s to about the 1940s when it was finally abandoned. And then it became a national forest afterwards. As we look here, off on our left, this flat area was camp number 8. So there was a logging camp here which had full service facilities for the loggers. Bunks, kitchen, it had places to blacksmith shop, etc. And it was all done in this flat area over here to the left. And there was a narrow gauge railroad that followed the Acesso Brook up a couple miles with switchbacks. That was, I believe, was a gravity fed railroad. Maybe they dragged the carts up with empty carts up with horses, and then they carefully brought them down the hill, and then the logs were stacked here, and then they were reloaded onto the standard gauge logging railroad cars and brought from here to the mill into Lincoln, which is now pretty much a shopping plaza, but there was a large mill in Lincoln. They processed the wood. From there it got on the main line of the Boston Main Railroad and went south to Market. So probably in about another mile we're going to reach another trail junction. I put on my snowshoes because it's been hard to get purchase here with the slippery conditions. We had 3 inches of snow last night. Not terribly difficult, but it's not firm, so it's better to hike with snowshoes. And so yeah, that's kind of it. We're going to head along up the trail. Talk to you later. We're about 2.7 miles into the hike. This is straight towards Franconia Brook Trail, which is where we'll be heading. Over on the left is a junction with the Black Pond Trail. Black Pond Trail, it's about a mile up to Black Pond. And right here in this junction here was where camp number 7 was for the logging railroad. The flat spot here and the Black Pond Trail actually starts off on the railroad bed and then it leaves the railroad bed. We're going to continue on to Franconia Brook, which is in this direction. Reach the junction of Franconia Falls Trail.
Maybe one more.
4/10 of a mile up to the falls. And we're going to head straight ahead. We're going to be going across the bridge here. Let's see if I can go get a picture of it from the side. across Franconia Brook Trails, and we're on the other side, the east side of the river. And the junction here is to the Lincoln Brook Trail and 13 Falls Trail tent site is here on the left. And as we go straight, we would be going to the Guyot campsite and the Bondcliff Trail. Right here is the logging railroad bed. The trail here splits, as does the rail bed. It's like the junction of the Franconia Brook Trail was immediately off the bridge. And actually, when you step off the bridge, you're actually much lower than the railroad used to be, because you climb up the bank to reach it. We're looking back here towards the bridge, and we just climbed up the side of the railroad bed over there on the left. So we're immediately on the railroad bed, and we're heading to 13 Falls. About 4.8 miles into the hike on the Franconia Brook Trail. It's pretty easy, very flat. We're still on the railroad bed. We crossed a couple streams so far. Alright, the logging railroad diverted from the trail away a little bit back there, and I've been following it. It comes to this opening here. This might have been camp here. Let's check it out. Kind of a neat opening. Alright, so it's clear here that there's a stream crossing. That's probably why in a boggy area, but in the winter it's not too bad. And look at this view we're getting, probably of Mount Flume. I'm not 100% sure. From this opening here in the bog area that the railroad came through. What a beautiful day. This is why you hike. So it's pretty cool right here. Check out those blue skies. Well, probably about 5 miles in the hike. We're definitely in the wilderness area. There are no blazes. You basically have to follow the railroad bed to stay on the path, or follow your GPS. So my battery's out, but I did find the railroad bed, even though there was a diversion around some beaver ponds, which is what was shown on my paper map. It's always good to have a paper map. So we're continuing on. I'm hoping to get at least to the junction with the Lincoln Brook Trail, but I definitely think 13 Falls is beyond my reach today. I think it's already 1:30, getting close to 2 o'clock, so probably need to turn back so I'm not doing too much hiking in the dark to get back to the car. Certainly want to be back on that smooth Lincoln Woods Trail before it gets dark. All right, we're gonna keep hiking. about 6 miles into the hike. We've come to the junction of the Lincoln Brook Trail, which is to the left of the sign, which goes up towards Owl's Head. And if you go straight here, you're heading up to Franconia Brook Trail, and you're heading on up to 13 Falls. They had a lot of snow and some ice last night, so I would suspect a lot of these branches are hanging a little bit lower than usually do, but we're in the wilderness area, so these trails are not used a ton in the winter, as are some of the other trails that lead to 4,000 footers. So I just had something to eat. I'm going to be turning around here. It's getting late. It's after 2 o'clock. Sunset's around 4:30, so I will be coming back in darkness, I think, but I want to get most of the way before it does turn dark, so I probably won't do much recording between now and then because I want to head back. But I appreciate you coming along for the hike with us today. I look forward to seeing you on the next hike. Thanks. Well, I made it back to the car. It's 4:45, dusk. I don't know if it's sunset yet, but it's pretty close. It was about a 10-mile hike. I would say it was really cool. I really enjoyed the logging railroad beds, as that's one of my other hobbies, railroads. So exploring that and getting some good exercise today. Very cold out. I had to keep switching with the warmer gloves to keep my hands warm. Thanks for coming along today, and hope to see you out here on the next hike. If you enjoyed the video, please hit like and subscribe.